Welcome back to my channel. I'm Shanika. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Shanika. I make videos on beauty, lifestyle, vlogs, and me just navigating through womanhood. So if you guys are ever interested in that type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you. Today, y'all, we are going to be doing, honestly, this video has been a highly requested video from me since I even made my YouTube channel about 3 years ago. So I'm excited to finally get down to it and answer some of you guys' questions. A lot of people have been asking me about my experience on working at European Wax Center, and throughout the years, like, my channel has just accumulated a bunch of different questions. So I decided to go through the different questions that I've gotten and jot some stuff down, jot the questions down and answer them on camera. So I have some of those questions, and then I do just have like some questions off the top of my head that people ask me just through passing or some of my personal clients. If you guys do not know, I am a full-time body waxer, and I have been so for the last 7 years, and I do work with European Wax Center as a body waxer. So a lot of you guys have been able to figure out like what I do and where I work just through my videos. I never really came out and said it just because, y'all, I just didn't really want it to be out there, but people have just been able to figure it out through my Wax With Me videos and just me being very vocal about my job and my experiences. So yeah, so I want to start by just going over just some general questions that people ask me in general. The most frequent question I've been getting lately on a lot of my videos is, what can you expect with this job? You know, like, what is the European Wax Center looking for? How can you prepare for your interview? How can you prepare for, maybe you got the job and you want to know how you can prepare for working in the wax suite. And in general, I will say that I want to just start by saying I got hired 7 years ago. So what they were looking for 7 years ago just might be a little bit different from what they're looking for today. And specifically with my center, I think that they were just hiring for people in general. So it is going to depend on the personal center, who owns the center, your franchise. But overall, in general, I will say this. Anytime you're working in a job that is in the beauty industry, you have to be a salesperson. So for one, you just have to make sure that you are okay with being able to sell, because they want to be able to make profit. So I do have a video on my channel on what to expect when you are working for a beauty company or a corporation like this or whatever. In general, you just have to know how to talk to people, and you have to know how to sell, because at the end of the day, you're there to make the center money. So you do have to have the skill, but they'll hire you without skill. Like, they will hire you if you've never waxed a person a day in your life. But they probably won't hire you if you look like, or you seem like you don't really know how to sell to people, or you don't know how to approach people, or you seem like you wouldn't be comfortable with taking control over like your situation. So like I said, and that's honestly, I feel like that's going to be with any job that you apply for in this industry, whether you want to be a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a body waxer, you want to do brows, nails, whatever. If you're working for a company, at the end of the day, they want to know that you can sell, you can make this company more money. So the skill kind of comes second to being able to sell. For the most part, they're just going to ask you general interview questions. That's what they asked me. Situation, or say you came across a difficult client, how would you handle that? Are you okay with meeting sales goals? Have you had training in the past, or what was your previous job beforehand? So basic questions is what I got, because like I said, they're really just trying to figure out your personality. So my best tip and best advice to give you when you are going into an interview for a job like this, just prove to them that you can make the company money. So when they ask you, are you a salesperson? Yes. Can you sell things? Yes. Because also too, you have to remember that any job that you work in within this industry is probably going to be made off of commission and tips and things like that. So your hourly is not going to be what you are there for. You know, so there's some positions where you get so much hourly that, you know, you don't have to worry about being, you know, going the extra mile when you go to work. Some jobs you can show up, you'll get your hourly and you're good. But with this job, the more open you are, the more money you can make for the business, the more, you know, salesy you are, the more money you're going to make in the end for yourself. So that's something that you definitely want to always remember. As far as what you need when you walk into the interview, on hand, all you need is a license. And that can be a temporary license, or that could be you know, a permanent license. All you need is your license, your hours from either esthetician school or cosmetology school. So you do have to have completed the appropriate hours. You depending on what school you went to or what state you're in, I can't say off the top of head for every state. All states are different, but there are a certain amount of hours that you have to complete before you can even walk foot into one of these places. Once you complete your hours and you graduate, your school, your esthetician school or your cosmetology school, because waxers are also cosmetologists. I'm a cosmetologist, I'm not an esthetician. They will give you a temporary license. Your temporary license will last for 6 months. So European Wax Center will hire you under your temporary license. So that's the license that you get just for graduating. And once that 6 months is up, well, within that 6 months time frame, like while you're working, while you're getting a job, you want to schedule your test to sit in front of the board and take that board so you can have your permanent license. Because if you don't, once your 6 months is up and that temporary license expires and you don't have your permanent license, they will let you go, because they can get shut down for having people, you know, work under a expired license. So, and they do check on that, so they check on that pretty often. But that's all you need, y'all. That's all you need. All you need is a cosmetology license or a esthetician's license, and you need to have the personality to sell, or you need to act like you have personality to sell. Because one thing I will say is that you're not going to walk into the job knowing everything. You're not going to walk into the job knowing how to sell. You know what I mean? You just have to seem like you are someone who can get the job done. So even if you're someone who says, you know what, I really don't know how to sell, like that's not my personality. I mean, it really wasn't mine, you know. But once you become confident within your skill, once you learn all the tools that you need, like, and I will say that European Wax Center does give you everything that you need. So they teach you how to wax, they give you all the information on the products, they give you information on how to sell. So they kind of set you up so that you can be successful. So it's, I wouldn't say go into your interview feeling like you have to prove yourself, because they want you fresh out the water. They want people who they can mold. So even if you go into your interview and you don't know anything about where you've never touched anybody before, but you seem like you have the personality that's moldable, like I could teach you how to sell, I could teach you how to wax, they'll get you. They'll take you, because they have a structure that kind of teaches you how to become the waxer that they want you to be. So don't be too nervous about your interview. If you have an interview for European Wax Center, go in there and be yourself, be open, be honest. Again, show them that you can make them money. Show them that when you was in esthetician school or cosmetology school, that you were the #1 in your class. You know, you were on the floor and you were servicing clients and clients loved you. You know, show them that you can build a loyal relationship with people and have people coming back, because at the end of the day, they know, most people know that you're going to come fresh meat, and that's what they want. So I hope that I answered any questions about the interview process. Like I said, y'all, it's just a typical basic interview process. So whatever questions that you normally get asked at the interview, this is what they're going to ask you. You just have to make sure that you have your paperwork and your business straight on your end, and have their personality to match, and you're going to get the job. Another thing that they really are going to want you to be is flexible. So if you have another job and you're not really flexible, then you might not get the position, because they do want somebody who can kind of come in and take over and be a full-time waxer, because they want somebody who can be around and stay around and build relationships for people that can keep coming, you know, over and over again. So you want to be open, you want to be flexible. You have to work nights, you have to be able to work weekends, holidays, you know, all the major holidays. My centers are closed, and I think most centers do close down for the major holidays. But you know, things like Halloween and Valentine's Day, all little fun holidays, you do have to work those days. So you have to be able to be open and willing to work those days. But other than that, y'all, it's easy. If you have the passion for this industry and you're eager and you're real ready and willing to learn, trust me, you will get the job. You will get the job. So I hope that answered some of your questions about, you know, tips on interviewing. Another question that I get, and this is the question that I jotted down, is can you train just to wax, or do you have to become an esthetician or a cosmetologist? So I know that there's people out there that will offer you training. You know, there might be a girl who has her license and she might have experience with working at European Wax Center or any type of center, and now she wants to go on Instagram and tell you that, you know, you can take her course and you can learn how to wax and you can get a job at European Wax Center. No, you cannot take a course from someone who is not a school or who is not who does not have an educator's license, because you can take a course from someone who has an educator's license, who has a shop, and you apprentice under her and she signs off on your hours, and then you take your state board and then you pass, and then you can get a license through that. But whoever you get your certificate from or whatever has to be approved by the state to give out licenses, pretty much. So if you know there's someone who's just doing classes and they show you how to wax and you learn how to learn that skill from someone, and then you think that, you know, a certificate that they might give you might work, then no, you have to actually get licensed from the state, and whoever you get your certificate from has to be licensed by the state to do that. So I would tell you the best way to go about getting your license is just to go to esthetician school. If you want to wax specifically, just go to esthetician school. It's not long, it's not expensive, and it's easy to get. So you have to have your license. The next question that I get pretty often is, how much does a wax specialist make, including tips? So that is going to vary. A wax specialist just starting out is not going to make the same as a wax specialist who has been working for years, and that's with or without tips. So hourly, I'm not sure what if this is the pay structure for all European Wax Centers across the board. Because European Wax Center is a franchise, so I would tell you the most your tips, plus you get your tips. So on average, depending on, again, that loyal clientele and how much a client loves you, or, you know, just the demographic or the area, or it's so many different factors when it comes to tips. But on average, I think at least a wax specialist gets about $10. At max, you get I think the least you make is probably like $8 or $9 an hour. I'm not really sure, because like I said, I got hired years ago. So I think the least that you can make is, let's just go with $9 an hour, all the way up until $14.50, and that's just hourly. But then you get your tips. Like I said, on average, I guess the average waxer might at least make at least $10 every service. And then you get your commission off of every service that you perform, which your commission off of services is not a lot. It's very small commission, but you do get commission off of that. And then you also get commission off of any retail products that you sell. So that's why I said when you go to sell, that's really important. Like, sales is kind of important because you're getting commission off of it. So you want to sell as much as you can, so you can get as much as you would like to get. So the more you sell, the more money you make. The more services that you perform, the more money you make. So the more you sell, the more services that you perform, and how happy your clients are with their results, the more money you make. So it's all about just perfecting your skill and perfecting your craft. Most people can perfect waxing within the first 3 to 6 months of being there. Waxing is not hard, especially if you're eager to learn, especially if you were taught well, you know, especially if you listen, especially if you're a people's person. The skill of waxing is super easy. Anybody can learn it. I always say that, but it really just takes a special kind of person to hit every point and then also give your client a good experience, which is not always. I don't always, you know, hit it on the nose every single time with every single client. I try, but sometimes I fall short, and I think I can speak for every other waxer in the world when I say that that's normal. So even if you are just starting and you feeling discouraged about an experience that somebody might have had with you, brush it off, let it go. Especially if you're working for somewhere like European Wax Center, you're going to see thousands and hundreds of people throughout your time of working there. So people are going to come and go, and people are going to love you one day, hate you the next. They're going to go, they're going to come to you, and then you're going to see them going with somebody else. It's a part of the game. Dust it off. Don't get attached to clients. Give your best, give your all, but remember that you are there for a purpose of, you know, creating a good experience, making the center money, making yourself money, and being the best version of yourself. So you're not there to be loyal, you know, to one person. Like you want multiple people coming to you. You want everybody to enjoy coming to you. So that's the best advice I can give to, you know, someone who wants to be like really successful in it. But again, there's no cap to the amount of money that you can make as a wax specialist, and that's not just for waxing, that's for any position in this business. So the next question someone asked is, can you work as an esthetician while still in school doing something else? And I definitely think you can. I definitely think that this is a job that allows you flexibility. Even if you're working as a full-time waxer or esthetician, I think because this job doesn't require so much mental, you know, it's not a lot of stress, it's a good work-life balance, you know, it's pretty fun, you know, in general, that you still have time to do other things. So if you are like, for say, in nursing school or something that's really hard, and you have a job that's easy going like this, I think it'll balance it out. So if this is something that you want to just do as a side, just while you're in school, or, you know, just a side while you figure things out, I definitely always recommend it, because it's easy money, it's fast money, it's good money, but you can also still focus on other things in your life, because this is a low stress job. Very low stress job, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still here, because it's a very low stress. So yes, you can still study and do this at the same time. Another question somebody asked me is, do you have to do eyebrows? Yes, at my particular job, European Wax Center, yes, you do still have to perform brows. So it's full body waxing, so that means you have to be able to wax from here all the way down to your feet. Yes, people get their toes waxed, they get their fingers, their knuckles waxed, they get their nipples waxed, y'all, their belly buttons waxed, everything. So the only place that we don't wax is the head, and I don't know if that's something that they're gonna maybe start one day, because I am noticing that men are starting to get their heads waxed, but we don't wax heads yet. But we wax sideburns, we wax nose hair, we wax ear hair, we wax lip hair. Anywhere there's hair, you wax. So yes, you do have to learn how to do eyebrows. Now, it's not the map, you don't map out the eyebrows. Like, for instance, if you go to Benefit to get your brows waxed, they got a whole wax system. Like, they have a whole way that they do your brows, because they specialize in specifically brows. So it's not as in-depth like that. Like with European Wax Center, everything should really be done within like 15 minutes, especially like one service. So they kind of want you to be a little bit fast, so you really just are, you know, cleaning up and doing a little shaping, but it's not like, you know, aggressive like how you would have to be at like working for someone like Benefit. They did just recently add on brow tinting. So, but anytime you add on brow tint and a brow wax, I think that adds on some time to your service. But they're still playing with it, they're still learning it. But yes, brows is a part of the service that you would have to perform when you are working for European Wax Center. The next question is, can I get a job even if I didn't go to esthetician school? And I think I pretty much answered that. The answer is no. You have to either have an esthetician's license or a cosmetology license to work at European Wax Center specifically. So the next question is, how long do you have to go to school for? And like I said, it depends on if you go to esthetician school or cosmetology school. So cosmetology school is 12 months, so about a year, and esthetician school, I believe, is 3. So, and that depends on if you go full-time or part-time. So if you go full-time, you can complete your cosmetology license within a year. If you go part-time, I think it brings you to like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. If you do esthetician school, it brings you to 3 months. Of course, if you do part-time, it brings you to, I think, about 6 months. So between that range, between 3 to 2 years to complete, depending on whether you go full-time or part-time. And yeah. The next question is, do you have to wax men? And the answer is no. So European Wax Center did, I believe it was about a year and a half, or maybe we might be going on 2 years. They started waxing men where I work. We started waxing men, but it's always been optional. So you have the option to opt in or opt out. That was actually all the questions that I could gather up that people were asking specifically. If you have any more specific questions, please y'all, please go ahead and leave them below. Like, I answer every single question. I think I've answered every single question that was ever been asked to me on my channel, so I tried it. And if I didn't, then just leave it again so I can see it. It might have got mixed up in the bunch, but I'm very open and honest about my career, and I'm here to be a source of information for anybody who's looking to get into this industry. I'm an advocate for it. I love it. I really enjoy it. So yeah, like I said, I'm sorry it wasn't a lot of questions. Like I said, I did leave a poll on my page, and I said if you have any specific questions, please leave them below, but nobody really answered as many. One more question that somebody asked me, it was more personal, so I did kind of want to leave it at the end, and I'll go back to her question. This is a girl who follows me. She always supports me, and I'm going to give her a little shout out because I really appreciated her for coming on my video and asking me this question. So her name is Imani, and her @ name is Imani XO, and she does beauty, like lifestyle vlogs too. I'll put her @ name on my channel so you guys can check her out if you want to. I think she does hair. Yeah, she does hair. So Imani @ Imani XOXO. So I'm gonna put her @ name at the bottom of it. But she asked me, do you think it's a career you'll stay in long enough to retire? What's next? What's your favorite part of it all? And to answer our first question, yes, I think this is a career that I will stay in long enough to retire for sure. I definitely don't think I would be doing it full time forever, and I definitely don't see myself working for a business forever. So eventually I will branch off, and I talked about this in some other videos. Eventually I will branch off and do it for the love of it, but as long as I'm doing it for money, I do think that, you know, because I'm doing it for money, I want to just stay somewhere where it's kind of like safe. But once I get to a point in my life where I can afford to do it on my own, then yes, and I probably will retire doing something in this industry, y'all, because like I said before, I'm not just a waxer. I'm a cosmetologist, and I like to think of myself as just a beauty enthusiast, you know, all around. So I have so many different talents and things that I love to do, but waxing just stole my heart for these past 7 years, and I just not ready to give it up. So I probably will wax until I die. Now, will I do it full time? No, not at all, but I definitely probably will do it until I retire for sure. She said, what's next? And y'all, I really just want to tap into this part of the industry. So I want to tap into social media, YouTube, just kind of branding myself, getting myself out there as a beauty enthusiast rather than just a waxer, or rather than just somebody who works for a company. That's what's next. That's what's on my agenda for this year, y'all. I'm really just trying to find my way through it all. I'm trying to position myself to a place where I can grow and thrive in this industry, because there's so many facets to me, and I don't just like being the person that does it. You know, I like to help people. I like to teach people. I do have my educator's license, so I like to play in products, and I love product knowledge, and so there's so many different lanes that I can go within this industry. And so if I just stayed just with waxing, I feel like it would be a disservice to myself. So I just want to go as far as I can go as myself, and you know, I want this career to take me as far as it can take me. So that's my goal for 2023. I'm sorry, tripping. 2023, and that's my goal for this industry in general. And then her last question was, what's your favorite part about it all, y'all? And my absolute favorite part about it is you guys. Like, anybody who is still watching my channel, watching this video right now, you're my favorite part. You're my favorite part. Like, I wasn't excited to do this video per se, but I was excited to give people what they've been requesting of me. So just being able to help people, to know that like some of the things that you guys put under my videos honestly moves me to tears. To know that me just giving a little encouragement can potentially change somebody's life, and to know that my experiences in life can help you get to where you want to go to, that's my favorite part of it all. When it comes to waxing, my favorite part is my clients, and I say that all the time. Like, even when my job asks me, like, what do you love about your job? It's always my clients. Like, they keep me going. They keep me excited to come to work. You know, if I didn't have the love that I have for my clients, and I just had to wax just people in general, I don't think I would love my job as much. It's the people that I come into contact with, because when I come into work, I'm not just removing hair, y'all. I'm having real life conversations with people. I'm going through pregnancies with people. I'm going through marriages, weddings, divorces, parties, you know, trips, vacations. Like, I'm experiencing so many things through just conversation with my guests that it makes me so excited to come to work. So I think that my favorite part of this industry is just being able to connect with people and to make genuine connections, because I'm not a very social person outside of my job. So when I come home, I'm an only child, so I didn't grow up with a bunch of siblings. So my job is something that I hold very, very near and dear to me, and the people that I get connected with through work and through YouTube and through these things, like, I take y'all very, very seriously. So that's my favorite part about being in this industry, just the social aspect and just being able to make those one-on-one connections with people. I think that is something that I was made for. I think God made me for that. And so that's my favorite part about the career and the job in general. So thank you guys so much if you made it this far. Thank you to Amani for asking me that question. I really love those types of questions, because I really get to open up and show you guys who I really am. If you made it this far into my video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, y'all. I got some goals that I'm trying to meet, and I really think that you can help me get there by 2024. Y'all, I got 2024 goals, so I really think that you guys can help me get there. Yeah, if you like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Again, if you have any questions about anything, please go ahead and leave them down below. And thank you. I love you guys. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye.